What's up, my guys? We are live. We have a pretty good card tomorrow. We got UFC Vegas 90. We got the rematch. Brendan Alton Allen versus Chris Curtis. Pretty good card. Obviously, next week is probably the best card of all time. UFC 300. I can't wait, man. I'm going to start looking into that card right after I do this video. Little recap like we always do, win or lose. Last week, we had a pretty good night. I had two bets. Lost on Petrosky, the first one, and yeah, man, it is what it is, man. It was a weird loss. He won the first round on all three judges' scorecards, and then it looks like he got knocked out on Jacob Malkoon's knee. So a weird one, but Nate the Train got us the dub. So a 2.16 unit win for us, and let's start the climb, man. Let's get on a big win streak, man. I also bet on Buckley, but I did it maybe a half an hour before his fight. So obviously, you can't track those kind of bets. Once the first fight starts, you can't track that MMA. But yeah, I should have tracked that with Buckley, man. But it is what it is. And without further ado, let's dive into this card, guys. We got two bets, both underdogs. And next week, I like a lot of underdogs so far pre-tape. So let's dive into business. First fight of the night, we got Melissa Dixon versus Nora Cornhole. It actually looks like both these girls missed weight, which is kind of crazy. Yeah, man, I'm going to pick Dixon. She's a big favorite. I feel like she has a huge grappling advantage here. Nora can crack, but yeah, man, I'm going to pick the favorite here. But like I said, no bet on this fight. Next fight, we got Dylan Budka versus Cesar Almeida. This is a pretty decent fight, in my opinion. It's a tough one to call. Budka has a good grappling background. I bet on him at dog money and contender series, and he kind of got a lackluster win. He definitely won the fight, but, just like Dana White even said, he should probably drop down to 170. Almeida's not the biggest middleweight either, but this is a pure striker versus grappler matchup. Almeida's, fought Alex Pereira 3 times. He actually won one of those fights. I was impressed with Almeida. I actually bet on as well on contender series, and he had a good win. I think Budka can get takedowns, and I think Almeida's going to hurt him on the feet. I think it's going to be a good fight. I'm going to pick Almeida. I think he wins, but I'm just not confident in betting him. I hope he wins, but it's going to be a pass for a bet, but I do think Almeida's going to win a very close fight. I think Budka's a tough dude, and I think it's going to be a close fight, so I just don't want to have money on a fight like that. So I got Cesar Almeida with a close decision. Next fight, we got Dan Argueta versus G. Matsumoto. I think a lot of people are picking Argueta as a dog. I don't see it. I think this kid's really good, man. Impressed me on a lot of contender series. And Argueta's kind of a jobber. It's really hard to trust someone that got dominated against Ricky Turcio. So I'm going to go with Matsumoto with the win. Next fight, we got Pedro Falcao versus Victor Hugo. I will be honest, I really didn't tape this fight. This is kind of a late replacement. I was going to pick Hugo versus Alatang. I don't really know what to say with Hugo either, man. I mean, he gets a lot of finishes. So once it gets extended, we don't know. I'll pick Hugo here, but I'm not confident. Next, I got Norma Dumont versus Jermaine D. Randamie, GDR. It's a good fight. GDR is definitely the better striker. It's just she hasn't fought in a very long time and she's old. I'm going to pick Dumont. I think Dumont's a dog. I think that she has good pressure, and she definitely has a big grappling advantage. And I just see her backing up GDR, man. So I got Dumont with the win. Next fight, we got Walter Walker versus Łukasz Brzeski. This is Johnny Walker's brother. Yeah, making his debut. I mean, he's fighting a turd, in my opinion. I'll go with Walter Walker, but I'm not confident, and I'm not laying in the juice. So next fight, we got Court McGee versus Alex Morono. Yeah, I got Alex Morono here for sure, man. It's just, do I want to play the minus 300 juice? I mean, he's going to win. I definitely am pretty confident in him knocking out old man Court McGee. But, yeah, man, I'm not really trying to bet that many favorites, man. Right now I'm trying to bet dogs, and I like Alex Morono, man. So pass from a bet. Main card, boys. Next fight. We got the first fight of the main card. We got Trevor Peek versus Charlie Campbell. I think he's a banger. I think this is a really good fight, and this is my first bet. I got 3 units on Peak at plus 180. I think he's like plus 145 now, so I definitely got a really good line. I'm excited about it. I do think Charlie Campbell's more technical for sure, and Campbell is a pretty good striker. I just think Peake's going to be, doing what he always does, man. And if he can survive a first round, I think he can win this fight. The longer the fight goes, I think Peek's gonna have the cardio advantage. Peek is a brawler, man, and it's kind of like just watch the Chris Duncan fight, man. I mean, I think that fight can happen here. I mean, I think Peek's a better fighter than Chris Duncan, man. Duncan went out there and was getting dominated and smoked him. So, grappling wise, I mean, I think Peek can get takedowns, man. We saw that last fight as well. So, a lot of people are just acting like this is a lock for Charlie Campbell just because he beat the worst fighter on the roster last fight. But people forget that he went out there and got deaded, dude, against Chris Duncan. And I get it. Peek gets hurt in a lot of his fights, but I think he's tough, man. I think he has the better chin here. We've never seen him finish. And I think he's going to do what he always does in the Apex Center. I feel like it's going to be a good octagon for him because it's going to be small, and I see him pressuring. And I get it. He's wild and he throws some ugly shots, but the longer the fight goes, I think Peek's in a dog a win here, man. And he just has to survive the first round. And it's just, we haven't really seen Campbell get extended, man. So I think, like I mentioned, Campbell's going to be a little more technical, but I think Peek has more power. And I think that he has that dog in him. And that pressure, I think, is going to back him up. Good left hook. And I think he can get maybe takedowns too. Good shit, right? I mean, Campbell could probably get takedowns too, but it's really hard to hold down a guy like Trevor Peek, man. So, I got the dog here, plus 180. And he looked a lot more composed last fight, but I think he's going to go out here and make this a brawl. And I think if he makes this fight a brawl, he's going to win because we saw Chris Duncan do it, and Chris Duncan won. So I got Trevor Peek making this a brawl and dogging out a win here. I think he's going to survive a tough first round, and he's going to break Charlie Campbell and get him out of there. So I got Trevor Peek 3 units plus 180. Let's get it. Next fight, we got Ignacio Bahamondes versus Creso Giagos. Yeah, I like Bahamondes here, but like I said, I'm not betting him at big juice, just like the Osmana fight. I think he wins this fight, but, I'm not betting him. He's probably going to go out there and put on a striking clinic against Giagos. But, pass him the bet. Next fight, we got Morgan Charriere versus Chepe Jose Mariscal. This is my last bet. We got 3 units on Chepe at plus 100. He was like minus money all week, so I'm happy I got the dog money. Man, I'm impressed with Chepe. He beat Trevor Peek in a pretty dominant fight in his debut up a weight class. And then last fight, he beat Jack Jenkins. He lost the first round. Then he went out there and pretty much dominated the second round and, broke his arm on that lateral toss. Charriere, it's just kind of hard to see where he's at. He's in a lot of close fights, has a lot of losses. I feel like the longer the fight goes, I got to go with Chepe here. I think if Morgan doesn't get him out of there early, I think Chepe's just going to go out there and do what he always does, man. And he's kind of like a Trevor Peek, but he's a lot more. I feel like he's a better fighter than obviously Trevor Peek. I mean, he's a dog, he's a brawler, but he's pretty technical too. And I think Chepe has a lot of advantages here. I think that he is the better grappler. I feel like he has really good judo. I don't think Morgan's going to go out there and take him down. And on the feet, Morgan's technical, but I think Chepe is very good in the clinch. And I think he has to just go out there and pressure, man. And the small octagon's going to be good for him as well. And he's a dog, man. I know he's been finished a couple times, but I like the pressure. I like the dirty work in the clinch. And this is a real fight, man. This is not the turd that Morgan fought in his debut, man. I mean, Chepe is a really good fighter. He's beaten serious guys like Zalal. So, he beat Pat Sabatini too, even though I think Sabatini is kind of a fave, but he's still a pretty good fighter, man. And look at the Jack Jenkins win last fight, man. I got Chepe here. I think he's going to make it a brawl. I think if he doesn't make it a brawl, he's going to lose. He needs to go out there and and pressure a guy like Morgan and, mix it up. And I think he's going to do some really good work in the clinch and mixing the takedowns. So I got Chepe the dog, 3 units plus 100, and let's get it. Co-main event, we got Alex Hernandez versus Damon Jackson. This is a weird fight because both these guys are jobbers. Hernandez missed by 5 pounds. He cut weight and then he reattempted it, and I think he went down to 147.5. But Damon Jackson looked like death on the scales, man. I feel like this is Alex Hernandez in the first round where he's gonna break, but Jackson slows down too. It's a tough fight, man. Even though he missed weight, I'm gonna pick Hernandez, but this could be a good wide bend spot. Hernandez cardio is so bad, dude. It's some of the worst cardio out there. This is such a weird fight. Like Jackson's has a very bad chin, but he's probably the better grappler. So I'll go with Alex Hernandez, but this is probably be a good live bet spot. Main event of the evening, we got the rematch, Brendan Allen versus Chris Curtis. I know Brendan Allen got knocked out his last fight against Chris Curtis, but I got to go with him here, man. I think he's the better fighter. I think if he fights smart, he mixes in the takedowns, he's going to win this fight. If he goes out there and tries to trade with Chris Curtis in a brawl, he's going to lose. But if he picks his shots, the striking's got a lot better since the first fight. And I think that he has a big advantage on the mat. I mean, we've seen Amaya go out there and take him down. So I think Brendan Allen's going to go out there and mix in the takedowns and fight more smart. And if he doesn't get, in a dogfight, I think he's going to win this fight. And I think Brendan Allen's the better fighter. So give me Brendan Allen the rematch. And I think he's going to submit Chris Curtis. So to recap on the picks, we got Brendan Allen, we got Alex Hernandez, we got Chepe Mariscal, we got Bahamondes, we got Peak, we got Morono, Walker, Dumont, Hugo, Matsumoto, Almeida, and Dixon. And then my two bets, we'll recap. We got Trevor Peak, 3 units plus 180, and then we got 3 units on Chepe at plus 100. Thanks, guys, for tuning in. Please like and subscribe. Let me know in the comments below who you guys have in every fight. And we'll be back next week for UFC 300. Probably the best card of all time. It's going to be a dog city card, just like every card. And let's get it, guys. Peace out. And I hope everyone has a winning night. Let's go.